Well, all right, everybody. What a great day this is. It's life in a day. We can experience a whole transformation in one day if we want to. Imagine that you just surrender, give it all back to Source, keep your heart with God. Just through the grace of God, we can transform as a lot quicker than any of us can even imagine. So today is a perfect day to take a lot of love breaks, a break. I call it a break from being human, a break from being human. There's a mortal attitude you could have today, just like the ordinary, like you've had for many lifetimes, same old, kind of in the human mentality. Or you can have a divine attitude. And what is a divine attitude? It means that we somehow come back to our breath often as possible. So that I used to have a chant, and it started out like, I receive a breath and I enter a sacred pause. So our breathing this morning is going to be a that where we just in that sacred pause, we just let go of our human attitude and we just take on this, what is it, the quantum field, if you want to say, that true God source consciousness that we truly are 100%. There's not one even tiny little part of us that isn't in this, with this ability to have this divine consciousness, because we do have it. And so we're gonna take that pause and then feel like we're just surrendering into the true divine nature of us. And then we'll repeat. We'll bring it up. We'll breathe, and then we'll breathe the quantum field into us. And then we'll take that pause again. All right? Because today we get to practice dying. Yeah, I have a good quote from Yogananda. We're going to practice dying. Don't you love to do that? Yeah, dying from the mortal, dying from the mind, dying from the usual whatever, feeling kind of not so good, and whatever inconsistencies or imbalances are in you, we're just gonna die to them like we're free soul birds. How does that sound? All right, and this is just a little inclination. This quote, this from John O'Donohue, and what he says is this. This is a beautiful quote, my dears. And maybe you can close your eyes so you can, this closed eyes, intuitive imagination is our passport to higher consciousness. That you can close your eyes and just let the heart just expand and just feel what you feel you need, what you feel you really want, what you feel you really are. It's like your passion. What is your soul passion? You let it come out in this intuitive imagination, you see, so that you can really just absorb the truth that comes in, if it feels like truth to you, if it resonates with you, and so that you can have it applied into your whole system, into your physical, your astral, and your causal bodies, and the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual side of you, that it all just merges and gives you a sense of just this freedom from the limitations, and complete absorption in the truth that you really truly are. Okay, so this is what he says. May you allow, this is John O'Donohue, may you allow the wild beauty, the wild beauty of the invisible world. That's the quantum field. The wild beauty. This is a day that, put your top down if you have one of those convertibles, and let the wind blow your hair, or take a walk and just say goodbye to all the things that are to do's, So you can just be, right? You can feel that wild beauty of the invisible world, the quantum field, the eternity that is in you right now and all around us that we live in, we come from. We're born from eternity. We live in eternity. We go home to eternity. So may you allow the wild beauty of the invisible world to gather you up today, to mind you, meaning that it's going to take over your mind. So it's going to take over our limited minds, our still, ignorant minds. And then it's going to embrace us into belonging with it. An embrace that holds you in your true self, holds you in this quantum consciousness or cosmic consciousness, just holds you there. This is a break that we can have when we let go on that exhale breath. So before we listen to some wisdom from Yogananda, let's receive a breath together like you're receiving the energy of the eternal life that you are. Receive it, dears. Just receive the truth of you. All that energy, all that love, all that life, all that peace. And exhale, and pause. And let the breath stay out for as long as you possibly can without forcing it to stay out. And let's go again. Inhale, receive. Just fill up. This is like a soul station, and you're just filling up with all the soul qualities that you already possess. And then exhale, pause. Take a break from being human. You are a divine being. Hold that breath out. Enjoy the pause so you can get a little separation from your reactions. And let's breathe again. Fill up at the soul station. All your soul qualities are waking up, my dears, as soon as you put your mind on it. That's how powerful you are. And exhale, take that pause so that you can, instead of react, you can be proact. Let's go one more time, my dears. Inhale, receiving everything that your system needs, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. And exhale, just take the pause, feel the feel, hold the breath out, and just for a moment, realize that, as Viktor Frankl said, he said, the one that was in prison in the camps in Germany in the war, but he has a spiritual attitude there. He smiled. He was actually joyful in a horrible situation. He said this, that when a stimulus comes in, there is always a pause before the response. He said, that's what I learned to do. When the stimulus of this horrible imprisonment all around him for all those years, he paused and connected to his higher self. And then he responded with grace and peace and compassion and empathy. That's how important is this pause. A practice of breathing, receive, soul, help, and exhale, pause it. And keep that pause out so you can regroup in your pure consciousness and then breathe in again. And you have then a divine response instead of a mortal response. So that we can die to our ego mind thinking. We can die to our worries and fears and anxieties. So we can truly have a break, as long of a break as you want, once you keep practicing it. So we can be in joy. while the craziness goes on around us. See, even in your normal breathing, or if you want to enhance it like we did, continue to do the reception of soul qualities or the quantum field energy through your pause and enjoy that peace that comes from letting go of your human side. Yogananda says, though the ordinary human being looks upon death with dread and sadness, those who have gone before know it as a wondrous experience of peace and freedom. Those who have gone before know it as a wondrous experience of peace and freedom. Before we go into a meditation between his words, I'm just suggesting that it's the pause that you feel a wondrous experience of peace and freedom in. It's the pause. And then the non-response to a stimulus that's in that pause in the quantum field, that we can experience this wondrous experience of peace and freedom. Peace and freedom. Every time the breath goes out, to start the pause. And then you breathe in that peace and freedom. Pause again. So you stay in the quantum field even with the inhale breath. You bring in that quantum energy. You exhale, pause, the reaction button, pause it, and then feel the peace, even on the inhale breath, and the freedom, and in the pause, and then put it on repeat. At death, Yogananda goes on to say, but remember, death to us right now means the pause. in the field, the pause in the field, undying light, undying love, undying peace. He says, at death, you forget all the limitations of your physical body and you realize how free you are. Let's feel that. Let's take a break and feel the truth. No limitations of our physical body and the realization on how free we are right now in this consciousness that we're growing by the day. He says, it may be that for the first few seconds, the first few seconds, there's a sense of fear. Fear of the unknown, of something unfamiliar. But after that comes a great realization, a joyous sense of relief and freedom, a joyous sense of relief and freedom. You know, you know that you exist apart from the mortal body. Ah, let's intuitively imagine that we exist apart of this frail human form. Each one of us is going to die someday. So there's no use in being afraid of death. There's nothing to fear. When death comes, laugh at it. Laugh at it. If you're afraid of going deeper in meditation, laugh at that fear. Death is only an experience through which you are meant to learn a great lesson. You cannot die. One great lesson. I cannot die. Smile, my dears, inside. You can never die. Never. Our real self is immortal. My real self is immortal. My real self is immortal. I exist, and that existence is eternal. I exist, and that existence is eternal. Let's listen again to that opening quote. I allow the wild beauty. I allow the wild beauty of the invisible world to gather me up. To be my mind and embrace me and my belonging with it. The wave comes to the shore and then goes back to the sea. It is not lost. It becomes one with the ocean, or returns again in the form of another wave. This body has come and it will vanish, but the essence within it will never cease to exist. The essence of you and me, my dears, will never cease to exist. We're forever. Nothing will ever terminate that eternal consciousness of this wild beauty of the invisible that's gathering us up right now in the gaps and the pauses in our awareness. And finally, Yogananda says, the body is only a garment. It's only a garment. How many times have you changed your clothing in this life? Yet, because of this, you would not say that you have changed. Similarly, when you give up this bodily dress at death, you don't change. You are just the same. Divine essence. The word death is a great misnomer, for there is no death. So let's just be in this wild beauty of the invisible, quantum consciousness. Let's come back the way we started with our breathing. So this could be your breath work today, if you so choose. We inhale all that beautiful quantum energy, light, love, peace. And then we exhale and we pause and let that breath stay out for as long as possible as we enjoy swimming, immersing in the light, the love, the peace, the joy. And then we breathe it in. Then we breathe it in. Maybe we hold the breath at the top a little bit. And then we take our break from being human as we exhale and hit the pause button on our reactions to life so we can respond with peace. We thank you, Yogananda Ji. We thank you, O Spirit of us all. We thank you, our immortal soul, that which has never really been born, never will die. We're an always. We are really an always because spirit is an always. Let your mind just totally shift from a mortal attitude to a divine perspective, a divine attitude. And let's live where we're meant to live in our omnipresence, in our cosmic awareness, in this freedom from fear and death and lack and not feeling lovable, not being understood. Let's return through God's grace and through the help of the divine. Let's return home together and celebrate our oneness in the one. And so it is, and so shall it ever be. Aho. It's just amazing to me how, when we close our eyes and then we open them, it seems like we're in another world as we come out, at least for me. I don't know how it is for you, right? And what little insights you might have gotten, or none, or inspirations, or none from the meditation, don't look at it that way because you've been blessed. We've been blessed. Those changes are happening. The changes that are really needed, we might even know that we need changes in a lot of areas of our inner life and outer life, but Source knows. So again, thank you everybody for showing up like this with such an open mind and an open heart, and absorbing the reality as best as you can understand the reality. But I think we have a secret, and that secret is we don't try to realize the reality with our thinking, with our human brain. We realize it from the depths of the faith and trust we have in our heart center that gives us the intuition to get a real sense of the reality. And some of you have now been on two streams back to back. And then Debbie said, and then I'm going to come tonight too. And I said, that's exactly the point. Stay in the juice. Stay in the juice, my friends. I'm telling you, it's the secret sauce, right? If you can show up and be in the light and do, if this is resonating with you in a good way, we're on our way home. We have a zip line to the divine home, back home, zip line. All right. So hopefully we'll see some of you tonight. It's really easy. I mean, if you didn't go through the White Mighty Network, you can just use this link and show up at 4 Pacific time or 7 Eastern time. And we'll dive in a little deeper, but with the personal element, because we get to pair up with each other and really see into the eyes of those souls, right? The windows to the soul are those eyes of yours. So I look forward to that. Yes, did you have something, Deb?
I had a question. When we were doing the breathing, is the pause at the end of the exhale or is it as you're
It's
exhaling?
kind of as because
Okay.
because you want to savor all of that release of that exhale and just start the pause and also know that you're diving. You can almost just visualize you're just going into the quantum field actually.
Got it.
into your
Thank you.
soul self, right? And
Thanks.
then you can breathe the quantum field as you come up. Yeah. Let it just happen naturally to you, however you want to do it. You can vary it any way you want to. It was just an idea that I thought was cool for me when I practiced it this morning. Yeah. All right. All right. Good to see you, David. Good job, man. Glad you're here. I saw you signed up for Soul Shops too, bro. That's awesome, man. Yeah, soul brother. It's always nice to get a divine masculine on here. Yeah, so we can have that beautiful harmony of the divine feminine and masculine. But we've always been behind you, beautiful divine feminines. You know, the guys of we take a little while. We're not the smartest guy on the block. You know, you know, we're too macho. We're too macho for that kind of thing. But we're coming around. Telling you. Right, David? We're coming around, buddy. Yeah.
It's a
All right.
process, especially with people my age, especially with my generation. A lot of, I don't know, a lot of
Yeah.
through high school, a lot of, it's sort of like a gender battle, man versus woman. So, I mean, it's a matter of time before people my age start to grow out of it and realize the battle never existed.
Well, but that's why you're going to be a leader in that. You're going to be the kind of the guy that's silently being the change, right? That
Mhm.
living it rather than just voicing it.
That
But
actually remind. Oh,
that's always been, and since the history, since the creation started, I think, man, this is
mm.
no new news, you know, that there.
What you just said there. Oh, my bad. What you just said there actually ties into something that like I sort of got a download on yesterday that was really big. Is with like me and my one friend. Like I've got like one friend my age who's like really just tapped in spiritually, and we have trouble like voicing a lot of these ideas to the people around us. Obviously, um, and I saw something online of someone saying like when I try and explain the Buddha to my mom, who's a Christian, she just says like, "Get the hell out of here." But when I act as the Buddha and I'm not saying anything, she loves me, and I'm just like, wow, like maybe I just got to talk less and just live it more.
Yes, 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 yeah. Silence is good, man. When if people don't get it, they're not going to get it by you talking, right?
Yeah,
So just
yeah.
silence is golden. Silence is golden. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing, man. And welcome aboard. Boy, I think this is so fantastic that we get to see you more often than not. Yeah.
No, thank you for inviting me to just all this. I'm just happy to spread the love with people who spread the love.
Yeah. We get you, man. We're on the same page, all of us. And all this beautiful energy. Thank you so much. And yeah, though you got that, you're on the Soul Shop. I saw you signed up, didn't you?
Yeah, I downloaded the app, but I gotta like set it all up on the app.
Yeah, no worries. But you can come on these Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're gonna do more of this as well. So
Cool.
yeah, love you, man. Thank you
Love
so
you
much.
guys.
Love you. All right, Debbie, Lynn, Tara, we love, we care, and we share. See you tonight. Who's coming tonight? Woo, 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 woo. Who let the dog out? Who let the monk out? Woo, woo, woo. All right.
Blessings, beloveds.
Blessings, blessings.
See some of you later.
See
Bye,
you, man.
Tom. See you
Bye,
soon.
Ash. Bye, Ash.